The way these drawers have a child safety lock for the little ones, so you have to lift up, stop, then push down the child safety locks, and then you can open it up. And then closing it is just a normal closing drawer. There's 3 of those. Okay. So there is a ladder for you to use to get up. Here's the ladder right here. Okay, just be mindful. It's a little wobbly, so it does work, but it is wobbly. So you just be careful getting up and down. It's good for kids to climb up there, to sleep up there, and then to store it up here when you're not in use. We do have a CD player available as well for your entertainment, and you can just store that up here. Okay, here's the end. When you're turning on the RV, you just like a normal car. Okay. The camera connection is right here for the backup camera. There's a little white connector here, and it connects to, there's a little receiver here, and then your camera would come up. You can turn it off if you don't need it, but if the RV is going to be stationary for several days, you can just unplug it to conserve energy. Here's the radio. The CD player on the radio does not work, but the radio does work. At this moment, we're going to replace it, but at this moment, it's just a radio only. Controls are pretty much the same. Make sure that you use your lights at all times, daytime and nighttime. Every state has different regulations, but usually RVs are required to have their lights on at all times. Okay, when you're turning off the RV, sometimes the key gets stuck. Just make sure that the parking is engaged, and then the key will come out. If it's not all the way out, it will not. The key will get stuck. So just make sure that the steering wheel and the drive selector is in park all the way up. Okay, and then now we're going to go to the outside. The RV does have a metal step. This metal step is a little low, so you have to be mindful of curbs and everything. As you can see, previous drivers have hit things and bent it, so you got to be mindful of that. To pull it out, you kind of just wiggle it in. And it stays right there. The first compartment here, it has all the tools. Here's your pressure gauge for your tires. This RV has 6 tires. The 2 in the front have to be 65 psi and cold. So before you start going down the road, you have to check them, make sure they're 65. The ones in the back have to be 80. Okay, so the way you check it is you take your tire pressure and you check it right here, and you check your tire pressure 65, so that's good. And then the 2 in the back, the first one you can see, you can clearly see, but the second one is kind of hidden back behind the tire, so it's kind of, you have to see this. The stem is a little bit back, so we just get it in there and gently try to get your pressure. So it's at 85 or 80, I'm sorry. And then you check both sides. If you need air in your tires, typically a gas station would have air, but here is a portable air compressor. So you can use that. It runs off the cigarette lighter in the calves. So and it's stored right here. Okay. So, like I said, tools are right here. Anything you might need. This is just storage for toys. Here's your propane gas. Okay. This is your valve. Make sure that it is to the left is all the way open, and then you can close it to the right. If you close it, you will not be able to use your water heater, and your refrigerator will not run on the gas setting. It would only run on the electricity setting, and you might get a check engine or check light. This is your gauge, and here's your connector right here. You can the EPA has a website where you can find LPG gas stations, or U-Haul locations have LPG tanks. This is your battery, your house batteries right here.
Brand new?
They're brand new in 2021, so that you shouldn't have any problem with those. And then they're just there for just showing you where they're located. There's no really any reason for you to go in there. So this is a storage compartment, and where we keep the hook for the canopy. I will show you where to kind of get the canopy open. Here's the hook for the canopy. So what you're going to do is there's this little tab right up here. You're going to flick it down. Okay. And then you can pull it out. Oh, I'm sorry. You have to release there's two releases. Release the legs, one there and one here. And then now you can pull it out. One side did not release. It's best if you have two people, one on each side, so to make sure that it comes out smoothly. You can bring it out. Okay, to provide some shade. There is a way to make it go out straight, but that function is not available at this time. And it's a little bit more complicated. So this provides enough shade for a couple chairs to sit out here. To bring it back in, you use your hook again. The process is reversed. You find there's that little lever. You flick it the other way. Okay, so you pull it down, and then you slowly slide it in, making sure that your strap does not get wound up on anything by itself. Bring it in. You have to close your legs, so you just pull the back part of the legs in so you hear the snap. And then we have these tie-down strips. These tie-down strips are there just as an extra safety, so it does not open up while you're driving down the road. So typically I just put one in the middle, one at the top, as high as they can go, and then strap it down. And then you do the same at the other side. I typically would not open the canopy up unless you're going to be at a campsite for several days and you're not going to move the RV. It's just not worth it to just do it for a couple minutes, but that's your choice. This is the access panel for the refrigerator. You don't really need to get in there. When the refrigerator or the stove are running, this will get hot. So be careful of children. So these two things will get hot. And then this is for the water heater. When the water heater is running, this will get hot. So be careful of that. Don't let anybody touch that. You don't need to access those panels. Those are service panels only. Okay. You walk around the back. We have the ladder to go on the roof. You're not allowed to go on the roof because it is not safe to do so unless you're trained to go on the roof. So this is just for access by the service personnel at the RV shop. This is not for renters or children. But don't let any children go up on there. This is your hitch. The hitch is not available right now. We do not have it hooked up yet. This is your location where you keep, where you can access the shore tie. So this is the plug that looks like a dryer. So this is what powers your, the power comes into your RV. So if you had a campsite, at the campsite, you would hook this up. There's a little access panel. You would bring your cable through the access panel. You would first turn off your breakers, and then you would connect your power surge protector to your campsite ground. And then you can hook that, you'll see the green lights come on, and then you can hook this up to the RV. Then you would go in and turn on all the breakers, and then come out here, make sure everything's okay, and then you are able to use your electricity. If you're hooked up if you're boondocking or dry camping at a friend's house or somewhere where you have a 15 or 20 amp regular house outlet, there is an adapter. You would connect your extension cord to the 15 amp, then you would do your adapter, then you would do your power surge protector, and then you would hook up your RV to it. So basically that's how it would be. But make sure you turn off the breakers off before you hook up or disconnect anything every time. Okay? So when you are going down the road, this compartment will be closed. This silver box right here is your generator power supply. So when your generator is running, it will provide supply to this outlet. So you can hook up your RV to that. So the way you would do it is, if you're going down the road and your house batteries have been drained, or you need to run the microwave, or you need air conditioning, what you would do is, or if you're just stopped and you want some air conditioning for the living part of the RV, for the living quarters, what you would do is you would turn off all the breakers, make sure the engine of the RV is running, then you would prime and start your generator, let it run for a couple minutes, and then you would then turn on the breakers again, and then you can use your microwave or turn on your air conditioning, or air conditioning or the microwave. The one thing with using the generator is it will use more fuel than normal. The RV typically gets anywhere from 8 to 12 miles to the gallon. When you're running the generator, it will use a lot more fuel, so you have to be mindful of that. And the generator will cut off when the gas tank goes below 1/4 of a tank full. So you always want to make sure you have enough fuel. We do have, there is an app, the Get Upside app, that provides you with some fuel savings, and we do have a code if you want to use that for that. But other than that, that's how you power the RV. You either power it with the generator, or best of all would be with a shore tie at a campground with the 30 amp. You can power it with a 15 to 20 amp house circuit. You will not be able to use the air conditioning with a 15 to 20 amp house circuit, but you will be able to use the microwave. And then
What about 50 amp?
50 amp, if you have a 50 amp campsite, there is we do have a step down attachment. So right here in this compartment, this is your 50 amp plug, and then it goes 50 amp in, 30 amp out. So what you would do is, at your campground, which has 50 amps, you would hook up your 50 amp to the campground. You would turn off all your breakers. Then you would connect your surge protector, and then you would connect your RV to the surge protector. The reason you want to use the surge protector is because if there is a power outage or a power spike, it will damage some of the electronics, and they can be expensive, and you will not be able to use any of your systems if your electronics go down. So you want to make sure you always use your power surge protector. Okay, so this is 50 to 30, 30 to 30 here. If you are at somebody's house, it would go 15 to 30, 30 to 30, and then 30 to 30. So that's how you would do that. And all these are available here for you. Okay. Alright, so these are your water connections right here. So if you're filling up your water tank